because of the feedback that they're going to be getting rid of the old way of skill base, and they're going to have this open matchmaking playlist as the standard, which pretty much means that we've come to an end with the skill based matchmaking era in Call of Duty. And bro, I can't believe we actually made it. Welcome everybody to episode number 244 of the COD Casuals podcast. We're your host, Mike.
I'm Justin.
Justin, I know better to ask. How are we doing?
I mean, I made it home. Freaking, I was telling you that I was gonna get home normal time, get ready for a pod, but I was waiting on like a file from work from this one person, and guy didn't get it to me until very late in the day. And he knew there was a deadline, and he got it to me 5 minutes before the deadline. Doesn't take into account like what I need to do to get things in. I got it in barely. Like,
yeah, you leave at you had a deadline at 5, and he sends it to you at 4:55.
Yeah, and I still got it in, and everybody after I got it in, I just responded, "It's in." And a bunch of other people are like, "Thank you so much. This is great."
The celebration emojis going crazy.
Yeah.
My whole thing is, dude, if the guy had all day, and you said just before we started, it probably would take him 10 minutes max to do it. Why wouldn't he prioritize that as like one of the first things that he needs to get done, because it's relying on other people? You know?
Right. Yeah, exactly. I mean, what do you have to do? Maybe like, okay, I could probably do it in like 10 to 15 minutes. Him, 30 to 45 minutes. But even then, you have all day. Like,
yeah.
And yeah. Tips for anyone in any work environment. If you have a deadline, don't send it. Make it. Like, don't send it like 5 minutes before.
Dude, I feel like we used to do that like maybe a little bit when we were in like middle school and high school stuff, where, you know, with homework and whatnot, it's like, oh yeah, you had a week to do a project and you do it like the day before.
Work related. Yeah.
Yeah. But dude, you grow out of that after a while when you're in work and you're like, okay, I have like actual people and there's like money that's involved here and my job is on the line. I need to do this stuff. Mm-hmm. I feel like you start to get away from those habits. But some people, clearly this guy still is like that.
Well, this is the thing. Like in school, in real life, you can procrastinate too, but you can't procrastinate up to the point of the deadline, you know, like right before. Like if he sent it to me an hour before, plenty of time. That's good.
Right.
But like you can't, you know, homework's due at midnight. You can't be submitting it at 11:59, like at work.
Yeah. You know, well, and that's what I'm saying too, because he knew, like, to your point, yeah, there's nobody on the other end, like with homework and stuff, that it's going to be that big of a deal. But for you, he knows that you have to then take steps to do something with this work.
Yeah.
You know, and like, what does he expect you to be working past 5 o'clock? You know, when he sends it at 4:55, he closes his laptop. He's like, yeah, I'm done for the day.
Yeah.
It's like, bro,
no consideration. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it just, he already knew there is a strict 5 o'clock cutoff, not because, one, I did want to go home, but two, like the system actually just stops at 5. Like once it hits 5, it's over. You got to wait until the next day.
Damn.
And it's needed to be in. And like we would have gotten it in regardless, but what he did, if he got it in before, like, you know, well before I got it in, he's going to see what he needs to the next day.
Right.
If he missed that deadline and I didn't get it in because he submitted it super late, now I have to contact like another person for me to get help to go, and, you know, I have to go explain like why this didn't get in. And then now they have to go to their like person, be like, hey, we need to get yeah. So yeah, if you don't procrastinating, fine, but you got to hit your deadlines in a reasonable time, you know. Like don't get it to someone 5 minutes before and then they have to get work done, you know. Homework is so different because it's just you, like it doesn't impact anyone else.
Right.
If you're impacting others, nah, you can't.
But I feel like people, though, at least for us, we have that awakening to realize that, yeah, there are other people that are involved in this. But people like that guy, bro, he's probably been doing that since high school, did it through college, and he just is still doing the same thing. And it doesn't click to him that hey, dude, you're now inadvertently screwing people over
Yeah.
because of you being like way too late. Like you said, dude, an hour, sure.
Yeah.
Like, why not? But if you're saying, dude, I need this by 5 o'clock, like, come on.
Yeah. Like team projects and college guys, if you're in college or whatever, like those impact other people. Don't wait last minute to do your piece.
And
If
everyone's
whenever.
gonna talk about that one dude who was like banging everything out last minute and had everybody stressing. And
Mhm.
here you are, like, dude, the first thing you said when you logged on, you're like, I'm not like you were just totally shitting on that guy. I'm like,
Oh
in the
yeah.
future, you're probably never gonna want to deal with that guy.
Yeah.
Like, if you could avoid working with him or having to take stuff from him, like however it may be,
Yeah.
you're always gonna remember this.
Exactly. People either,
Don't be that guy.
yeah, they will always remember the bad things over the good things. That's just how
Yeah,
humans are wired. But unless it was extremely good, you know, but
right,
people will always remember if you're a nice person and all the bad things that people have done.
right. And
there's,
he's already
there's no in
starting off.
between.
He's starting off on the wrong foot too. Like, is this
Yeah.
the first time you had to deal with this guy?
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. That's my first experience with them. I'm like, dude,
It's over.
what is this? Get him out of here.
Yeah, legit, bro. That's
Dude.
terrible. But I will tell you, man, I had a much less stressful day. I didn't have work today because it's like Columbus Day, or is it like Indigenous People Day?
Yeah.
So I didn't have the day to go to work. I will say though, this was like switching to gaming. I had a weird experience, and this has never happened to me before. Unlike the PS3. So I was playing the Uncharted 2. I started it up, I think it was yesterday. And then today I saw that they tweeted out that it's like the 16th anniversary. It came out today, which, dude, makes me feel so old.
Mm.
Like, and I bought this game on PS2 maybe like a month ago or so. And I was playing it, and I got to like the second, it was like chapter 5 or something of these ruins and whatnot that you go through. Like, it's like a city. I don't know if you remember the game that well.
Yeah. Yeah.
But there was this sound that, like, it was some crashing sound, and it just kept happening over and over again. Like, it would happen, and then it would pause for 2 seconds, then happen again. And I was like, man, that's really weird. Like, there's no way that this is something normal. Like these guys would not miss this. And then I go up to like scale some stuff, bro. The whole map gone. Completely
Just
gone.
glitched.
There's
Yeah.
yeah, bro. It was like there was nowhere to go. Like there was this pole that you had to walk on, and it just went off into the abyss.
Mhm.
So I jump. I'm like, all right. I just kept falling forever.
Yeah.
Broke my PS3. Like, when I died, it just kept loading and loading and loading. And then the fucking thing, like, my PlayStation just shut off. Like, it
Mhm.
just like not like turned itself off, but it went to the main menu. It kicked me out. It's like, something's wrong here. Bro, I did not realize that. Well, I had to go. I bought the game again. It was
Mhm.
$10 on the PlayStation Store on PS3. I didn't realize that you can't use credit cards anymore on that store. Do you know that?
On the PS3?
Yeah,
Did not know that.
you can't use like any credit card or debit card. You have to go and add like PlayStation money or PlayStation
Huh.
funds to your yeah.
Is that old? I mean,
Yeah.
I guess probably because they stopped making PS3 games. So I guess that's
Right.
probably why, but that's interesting.
Yeah, and it says it like right when you go into the PlayStation store, like the first thing that comes off to the right is saying that you need to go and do this if you want to go and buy any like PS Vita or PS3 game
Yeah.
from the store. Yeah, dude, not that fucking easy to do. Like, going on, like, oh my God, it was such a pain in the neck. But I had to go download it again. Bro, that took 3 hours to download that game. Like, I think we take for granted like, even though the PS5 is so slow compared to a PC, bro,
Mhm.
we had to sit through that back in the day.
Yeah. No,
Like,
I remember the copying.
oh my, yeah, bro.
You
Once it
install the game?
downloaded, yeah, it downloaded, and I was like, oh man, thank God.
Yeah.
And then it was like installed. I saw it in like the bubble that it used to be. I'm like,
Yeah.
oh no, bro. It took so long to download it. Like,
Mhm.
I I completely forgot how bad it was. And I was looking online, like, is there any way to make this faster? And people are just like, nope. Like, the only thing
No.
you can do is just Ethernet cable. But I'm like, I'm not doing that.
Mhm.
Yeah, dude. It took hours to
And
go and download that game.
even that, it still takes a while. I remember going from the PS4 to PS5. It was night and day how fast you like loaded into games, like left games,
Yeah.
downloading games. It was just so much quicker. No copying. Like you install the game's there.
Yeah. Dude, I went and had it was funny, a student from school let me borrow his copy of Silent Hill F,
Mhm.
and I played it for like maybe like half an hour or so, but I went and put that in while my PlayStation was at like 40%. Bro, that game downloaded and like installed by by the PlayStation 3 was at like 60%. It was so fast.
Mhm.
Like so I just the competition to what you're saying from the PS3 to the PS5, it's ridiculous how much faster the PS5 is. And the PS5 compared to like a PC is unbelievably slow too.
Yeah, I mean, games nowadays, they're just so big. You need like 100 gigs minimum to download a
Dude,
game. And then, I mean, back in the day, we were playing like 5 gigabyte games, if that.
dude, you know how big Uncharted is?
How much?
It's 19 gigs.
That was pretty big from back in the day.
Yeah,
Pretty
that
big
like
game.
thinking about it, that's a decent size, but
Oh,
dude, there's
yeah. No,
no
no.
like now that's an update for Black Ops 6. Like that's
Dude,
literally
yeah.
nothing.
Think of like actually, one of our episodes, like when we recorded in person, was about that size. Like in
Yeah.
just recording in
Right.
footage. That's
Yeah,
insane.
it's unbelievable how much it's coming over the years, but it's only when things like that where I have to go and buy a game and
Mhm.
download something because I haven't had to do that in years.
Mhm.
That's where I realize how bad it is.
Yeah, yeah.
Like,
Well, speaking of we'll jump into COD after this, but like being old, you said it was 16 years, right? The 16th
mhm,
anniversary. So
yeah.
yesterday, my girlfriend and I, we went to, uh, people watched Avatar: The Last Airbender. We went to go watch an orchestra go and play through the whole
Mm,
series.
hell yeah.
It was the 20th anniversary of Avatar: The Last Airbender, and it didn't really hit me until the composer came, not the composer,
Conductor.
no, one of the vocalists, she came up and, like,
Oh, okay.
introduced, like, what they're gonna do, whatever, and she's like, "How many of you watched this back in 2005?" I raised my hand. I'm, like, looking around, and a couple other people raised their hands, and it's just little kids. I'm like, "Oh my god. These
Wow.
kids weren't even born." I'm
Yeah,
like,
bro.
"What the heck is happening?" And then she was like, "I didn't watch it back then, but like I watched it during 2020. Like during COVID, a lot of people watched Avatar on Netflix." Um, and I'm like, "Damn, I really lived through this 2025 or 2005." And fantastic cartoon. If no one has seen it, like,
Was she a young singer too? Was she younger than us?
I have no idea, but if I had to guess, she was in her like mid 20s. So I mean,
Okay.
like, she probably just didn't watch it.
I was
Um,
gonna say because it would be one of those cases where you're like, you weren't even been born when
yeah, and
this came out.
like a
Like,
lot
and
of
now you're singing about it.
a lot of families brought, their kids and stuff, obviously. And
Yeah.
yeah, a lot of these kids weren't born. Like and it was insane. But orchestra, awesome. Like amazing experience. It was like almost 3 hours, which is pretty
Yeah.
long. But they went through like book one, book two, book three, and obviously they had visuals and stuff, but it was all designed for the orchestra and like certain
Right.
like key moments within the series. It was sick. Like seeing those people like in their element performing, and the conductor, I mean, she was killing it. I was watching her screen because she had like a tablet thing that like told her on cue like when
Right.
the
When
next
yeah.
like image would pop up into the next scene. And dude, Avatar just was so ahead of its time in terms of like culture and like the different instruments they were using, and whatnot, because like there's a lot of Asian influence in Avatar, obviously. Not that whack ass like Ong movie.
Wrong.
Hell, dude.
Disgrace.
Dude, yeah, insane. But there are a lot of like different Asian instruments that like they actually played and stuff. They had
Yeah.
people playing that, and then the people that created like the actual show, they weren't there, but they recorded a whole video and said like this is why we wanted fans to experience. And been 20 years, they were like going through different scenes of Avatar. It was so sick.
Yeah. That sounds rad, dude. I mean, I remember watching the show too back then. and I haven't watched it in a long time. It was probably, I think maybe around COVID is when I went and rewatched it. Yeah, the music for that show is phenomenal,
Mm,
and I like how you said too. Yeah, culturally relevant too. Like
mhm.
they did their research, making sure that they use certain instruments that are like relevant to what's going on. I can imagine that was sick. And
Yeah.
hearing that music, it probably took you back. You're like, oh shit, I remember this music.
Oh, yeah,
You know?
immediately, and then, all the when the Fire Nation comes, like, the deep, loud, like, drums and all the different the tuba was used a lot, the French
Yeah,
horn, like,
yeah.
so many cool, like, instruments were being used in this orchestra, and, uh, Avatar too, like, even back in the day, like, it taught, like, so many meanings about, friendship, obviously, Avatar, like, at the end,
Mhm.
you know, violence isn't for everything, if you guys haven't watched it at this point, but like Aang spares Zuko's father when he could have just iced that guy. Should have killed
Firelord.
him.
Isn't that
Ice him.
Firelord as a Ozai?
Ozai, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Firelord Ozai. I'm like, Aang, you can get rid of this guy. You
And
have
that
him.
and
And
that battle at the end was fucking epic.
oh yeah,
It
dude.
was
It's just yeah, it was insane. And then you hear the orchestra and like all the violins,
yeah.
like everything just coming together. I'm like, this is insane. Like I'm getting chills, like hearing like how deep the music is.
Yeah, and it's a challenge too to like to really make music that matches so well,
Mhm,
and is memorable. That's why I always commend that guy John Williams, who did like all the Harry Potter and Raiders of the Lost Ark and like all those films,
mhm.
because that music is so iconic, which is insane because it's really just film music. Like if you want
Yeah.
to boil it down, saying it's just film music, but it shows how much more it can be. Like
Mhm.
it can be just a huge, huge part of the movie and like, what everybody feels in that moment. I remember the music really, really well in that. Especially after watching it back. Like it's such a good show too.
Yeah,
Even like despite the music, like the whole show itself is phenomenal. All the characters in there are dope.
yeah, dude, it
Um,
was so sick, like, just hearing, like, everything to come together, like an actual, orchestra, but people haven't gone. I'd recommend just doing something like that in general because I know they do it during anniversaries and stuff, and I've
yeah.
seen orchestras do it for Uncharted. I'm like, if they did that
Oh
for
yeah.
Uncharted, I'm going to that. That music, immediate
It's
chills and
legendary.
just like, I wanna go on a treasure hunt.
Yeah. Like, dude, when I started up Uncharted 2 and hearing that, like the theme just kick in,
Yeah.
oh man, it takes you back. And you like remember the whole thing
Oh,
too.
yeah, immediately.
Um, but again, that's what it says about some games that they pay the time and attention that is needed for a theme like that or just music in the game.
Mhm,
Because sometimes there's way more games that I play where the music just sucks or it's so filler
mhm.
that you don't remember it at all and it doesn't really do anything for you. But those games and like those TV shows, series that they did, movies, when they connect everything and it really hits, there's nothing like it.
Yeah, the sound production matters. It's
Yeah.
just little things. If go and watch a show with no music, like just straight
Yeah.
commentary.
Yeah,
It's
it's a
awful.
complete snooze fest.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, a lot of these anniversaries that have come up, just again, they make me feel hella old. Like even though I don't feel like I'm old at 27, it's when I see some of this stuff now looking back, I'm like, damn, that was a long time ago. Like
Mhm.
we'll talk about it later, but even seeing or like more about the other CDL stuff, but there was an announcement that guy Dylan Cod is coming
Yeah.
back. And like they talk about how many years it's been since he was playing and he played in Black Ops 4. And I'm like, oh, that wasn't that long ago. And then I'm thinking, like, bro, he hasn't competed for 5 years,
Mhm.
because wasn't Black Ops 4 is 2019, right? Or well, was it a
2018. Yeah.
2018?
Well,
Yeah, well, they must have 6 years then.
he played in MW, and he had a slight stint in Cold War. But, like, Black Ops 4 was the year that he was, like, really known for. Because I remember everybody was hyped for him going into MW, and the drop off was kinda insane.
Right.
And then Cold War, he played for a short stint, and then just for the Ravens. Um,
But
London
you see
Royal.
all these people now who are like, "Who is this guy? Like, when did he
Yeah,
play?" I'm like,
it's
"Bro, how do you not
crazy.
remember this guy?" Like, but these people are probably 17 years old,
Mhm,
18 years old, and they just started following it. Yeah, they have no idea who he is.
mhm.
Um, but yeah, seeing that announcement and thinking about how long ago it was. I think the same thing with Black Ops 4. It came out like however many years ago to the day. I mean,
Mhm.
what we say it was 2018. So yes, 7 years ago.
Yeah, that's crazy.
You know, like we thought Black Ops 4 was a joke with that. You remember that when the logo came out, everyone was kind of laughing. They're like, dude, what are they
Yeah.
going to do for Black Ops 7? Is this going to be like a
Yeah.
whole bunch of numbers off to the side?
Mhm.
But here
Yeah.
we are, bro. We made it to Black Ops 7.
It's crazy. You know what? When it's 2028, that game's gonna be 10 years. We're closer to that than we are to
Yeah.
when the game was released.
Yeah, like I wonder if we're well, I'm sure we are. We probably back then wouldn't have been able to imagine Black Ops 7, but thinking even 5, 10 years from now, we're going to be on what, like Black Ops 15?
Yeah.
Like, what are they going to do with the numbers and like the naming of it anymore?
It's gonna go to Roman numerals.
Black Ops X.
Yeah. Yeah. Dude, that's a trademark that right now.
Yeah,
Black Ops X. That has to be insane.
that that does seem pretty cool though. That would be a good name. They'll come back to this episode and watch it. But now, man, like we were just saying, even with Black Ops 7, and when we talked about it in the last episode, like the whole beta had kind of closed up. And we gave our our thoughts on the whole thing, but we did get some more news related to the game, which has been phenomenal. The main thing that came up and we wanted to talk about is when they did that whole open matchmaking system, they just wanted to have it to try to compare to the standard skill base. And the overwhelming majority of people said that this was the way to go. And I think what people were hoping for was they were just going to keep this playlist in there, and just have it as like a separate playlist, because it didn't seem realistic that they would make a complete switch. But that's exactly what they did. They announced finally that because of the feedback, that they're going to be getting rid of the old way of skill base, and they're going to have this open matchmaking playlist as the standard, which pretty much means that we've come to an end with the skill-based matchmaking era in Call of Duty. And bro, I cannot I can't believe we actually made it. It's
If I had a soundboard right
all
now,
these years.
dude, I wish I had a soundboard right now. Applause.
It just doesn't it doesn't seem real, because Call of Duty has just been this way for us for so many years now. And it's been stronger and weaker in some areas. There it is. Dude, that sounded insane. The loudest applause ever. Um, it just doesn't feel real that we made it. And again, the fact that they listened to the feedback and actually implemented it, is astounding.
Treyarch. Only
Yeah,
Treyarch could pull this off, man.
only
Like,
them.
we're essentially going back to what it was. And yeah, we thought it would never happen. Of all the years of basically every person that has been playing COD for years complained about skill based, and no one else wanted to make a change besides Treyarch. And you know, I'm sure I think I said it last episode. They're probably doing this open matchmaking playlist to get stats on if people like this or not, and then to present it to whoever and be like, look, we need to go back to this because that's what people want.
Right.
And you can't the numbers don't lie. So it worked out. I'm glad that, of course, Treyarch is a developer that's like leading this charge, and they know what people want, and they can actually get it done. Meanwhile, the other developers, like, well, they're just going along with everything. Like, no, they like this. They like this.
Well, did you see that? I think it was one of the former developers. I think it was at Infinity Ward,
Yes, I did see this.
where where he had said that it was not like they were really adamant about getting rid of it. They more or less wanted to keep it in there, which makes no sense.
Mm-hmm.
I can only imagine that it would be pressure from the top but I don't understand why, because all these years people have been complaining about it. And what does it really do for the casual player base? Where I can't really put it together as to why they hadn't made that move sooner, because it seems like they were able to. But Treyarch is the only one that with this beta actually took the feedback and was like, you know what? I think we need to make the move that nobody else has prior to us.
Yeah, it seems like that it was a case of they had to build, something like some report together to be like, hey, this is the analysis that we did. We're going to show it to you. and this is a case that we built. We need to get it out. While
Right.
the other devs were like, maybe this might be a lot of work. Let's not do that. Yeah, because everything's working right now. The numbers are up. Why should we go and change this? Because for the better of the community, that's why you should change it. And Treyarch, as developers, I think they look at the feedback from everyone that plays, and they're willing to go to bat to whoever above them, and it's like, look, the fan base, they want this. Let's try to build a case around this and like prove with data points that the majority of people want this in a game, and then go
Yeah.
present it, and the numbers don't lie. So they did it, and honestly, I'm not surprised that Treyarch is the developer that took the charge and did it. So, I mean, COD's back.
I mean, I can only imagine that that board meeting went like they showed one slide of Battlefield and we're like, look, they're like, we're fucked. If we don't make some big changes here, we're gonna lose this battle. And we got to make any changes that we need to, and we really need to listen to the community this time to try to make the game that they actually want. Um, and yeah, I mean that's their track record. Treyarch's always done that. They usually, don't let us down. Last year, again, it seemed like that was kind of a slap together year that they had to make a game. But with this year, it seems like they're trying to really make a change for Call of Duty going forward. And we've taken massive steps in the right direction. But excuse me, my main concern is, I saw it in a Jev video where he had talked about this and that he feels or worries that other developers are not going to follow suit with this for
Going forward.
whatever reason. They're going to, yeah, because they must have people there that feel strongly about their belief of the game and how they want the game to be. So right when Treyarch has done this, hopefully they're seeing everybody like praising them and already praising this game. But I fear that they'll just go right back to what they've had before, and we're not going to get that consistency that we need from title to title and like switching developers.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, that is definitely a fear, but I'm just trying to enjoy the good moment now because the game, like, it hasn't come out yet. But I wouldn't put it past Infinity Ward or Sledgehammer to be like, now we're going back.
Yeah, I
But
I think they definitely could.
but if the success with Black Ops 7 shows that this is better, they'd be so stupid to not
Yeah.
implement this. I mean, Black Ops 7 will show. Like it'll show out as soon as the game launches. I know right now Battlefield 6, everyone's like, freaking out about it, and it's like, oh, this is gonna kill COD, whatever. Um, and it's good competition. It's good that this game's out. Two different games. COD's gonna come out in November, and we'll see what happens. Each game is gonna be pretty successful, and at the end of the day, it's really about which developer is going to support the community the most. Because
Right.
look, EA doesn't have a good track record at all.
Yeah.
All right, so yeah, Battlefield 6 might be amazing. I have friends that pre-ordered it and like they're playing it. Personally, did not pre-order it. I'm just not a Battlefield guy.
Not me either.
And I'm play COD. And yeah, I've watched videos on Battlefield 6. Looks awesome. I like watching people play it, but I just want to play COD. And yeah, I think whatever game, both games are going to be successful, but the longevity of it really depends on which developer is going to really listen to the community and, fix issues right away and do things that are needed. And Treyarch right now, at least, I know the game's not out yet and like we're glazing them, but from the beta to now, they've listened and like they've made big changes. It's not like they're small. Oh, they added like red dots to the map. Like they
Right.
literally took tax sprint out of the game, which has been a mechanic for years. The whole skill base, that's crazier. Like that's just completely gone. They're changing the system of that. The whole doors, like changing the maps on the fly because people didn't like them.
And then another thing I saw too, like to that point of what they're adding is they're having an aim assist adjustment. Like I don't know if it's gonna be a slider or what exactly, but for people to who maybe struggle or new and they want to go and have, slightly stronger or less strong aim assist, that's another thing that they're adding, which I did not ask for this, but obviously there must have been people who did, and it must not be that difficult for them to add it in. So yeah, I mean, going back on what we were saying with Battlefield and with COD, like Battlefield 7 is going to be their game for years. They're not going to come out with a new Battlefield
Mhm.
next year, or probably the year after. But COD is, of course, like everyone knows there's going to be a new one after. And yeah, it could be great the support that Black Ops 7 gets and already has gotten so far, even prior to the launch. But it's really going to be then, obviously, with the launch of the game and then all the developers after that, that they're going to be now making a game that's going to have to be competing with Battlefield.
Mhm.
And if Battlefield ends up giving the support throughout the life cycle of the game that it needs, then they're going to maintain players. But if Infinity Ward or Sledgehammer next year, they come in and they do the same shit that they did with their other titles last year or years prior, COD's screwed. There's no doubt. But
Mhm.
this year, they're good. They're definitely in the green. They're going to maintain a lot of players, I'm sure, during this because of the open mosh pit playlist. That's going to be the standard. But next year, who's to say? Because you're going to get burnt out so quick.
Mhm.
Like we won't be playing pubs anywhere near as much if every single game you're going into is basically rank play.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. We don't know. Treyarch they're just pushing this movement right now, and hopefully the other developers listen because, yeah, I mean, COD has been in a weird state the past couple of years, and Treyarch is the only developer that is pushing for change. And if the other developers go back to that, then clearly they're just not listening to the numbers, and the numbers are not lying in this. That people like uh, non-skill based matchmaking more. And yeah, I mean, I don't want to be all doom and gloom about the next couple of years because people are like, oh, Battlefield versus COD. Like right now, Battlefield is going to win the longevity game. I'm like, let's. It's not. It's not. It's you got Battlefield 6. Battlefield 6 is. I'm sure it's a great game, but why compare it to COD right now? We'll see. EA doesn't have a good track record to you know supporting their game. Battlefield 6 could be good through the end of the year and then it completely dies.
No, it's true.
And then if it dies, Treyarch's gonna just, take advantage and um, keep supporting their game. And they're clearly supporting the game right now. They're listening to all of us.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I hear you. I don't want to be like too sad about it because we haven't even started this year's game. Um,
Yeah.
but I guess it just comes from the hype that Battlefield 6 has had, because I mean, we haven't had a really good Battlefield for years, and now that they finally got competition and they have a relatively decent game, um, Call of Duty is should be worried, but if Treyarch was making all the titles and they were just going to be holding on to the ball for the next couple of years, I really wouldn't be worrying about it.
Mhm.
But yeah, it's just good to see that this year they've got it figured out, and we haven't started yet, and I'm already looking forward to it, and I know it's going to be a good year. Um, I just want to be having multiple good years. I don't want this
Yeah.
to be a one-off year where I'm like, dude, we had like Cold War was. We had no idea how good we had it until it was you
Yeah.
know. And this year I'm going to be savoring it and like, oh man, like it is a phenomenal year, and I hope Infinity War comes back next year and they're like, look, man, we're doing all the same shit like that Black Ops 7 did. I'll be like, okay, here we go. You
Yeah.
know,
Yeah.
now we've entered the new era. Like I said, that SBMM era of COD. I hope that we literally do just call that an era and it's gone, like the jetpack era, even though I would want that back.
Mhm.
But I hope that that was just some weird, handful of years that we had to struggle through to now get to where we are and hopefully stay there.
Yeah. 2019 to 2024 was a blur. Like
Mhm.
now it's just get better at the game. How about that? Because even the aim assist thing, like I didn't ask for that either. But if people really want it, people have been complaining that it's that aim assist it's harder. I'm like, that sounds like a you problem. Not gonna lie, you just got to get better.
Right.
Like make your thumbs, you know, move them slower. move your sense down. I don't know what to tell you. I'm like, if you're getting cooked, that's kind of on you. Lower your sense or something.
Dude, I will say, like, going into that as well and with the skill base, do you think that we got better over those years with the heavy skill base? Do you think that suffering through that we did become better players or no?
I mean, I think so. I think you can make that argument, but I think it's because we play ranked too. Like we've watched a lot of CDL over the years and like we like to play competitively anyways. So in terms of being a better COD player, yes, like making decisions and stuff like that. Um,
Right.
yeah, I guess it has, but that's the that's the point though, right? Like skill base is to put you in the same skill level as other people, but the people that want to be competitive and take it seriously, they're always going to do that no matter what level they're at. The people that want to take it casually, it doesn't matter. They're not going to try to keep improving because they don't want to, you know?
Right.
So, but if you do want to get better in any way, you're going to try to get better in the game. So you want to play against better people. Um, I guess for us, like we're always challenged every single game after a couple of games. So yes, we did get better, but we didn't sign up to play ranked in pubs every single match.
Right. Right. I think it helped a bit. But I feel like when you play with really heavy skill base, like if you're really bad and you're playing against just bots all the time, it's kind of like padding you,
Yeah,
you
yeah,
know?
yeah.
Whereas like for what it normally is, you just play the same games with everybody else for the most part. And yeah, you're getting that mix of getting cooked and like doing well, getting like the dopamine hit where you're maybe like, top of the leaderboard or in the top three if you've never played before.
Mhm,
Um, but yeah, I feel like with the skill base before, if you're really bad, I wonder how much you're getting punished if you're playing with people who are terrible, like at the same level as you.
mhm,
Because for us, yeah, we did have some years where we were getting better because of it, but then you kind of hit your cap.
mhm,
It's just like ranked. Like for the most part, our top is like Diamond 3, Crim 1 ability, like as players. It would be insanely hard for us, like in time wise too, to try to get to that level of being like an iridescent player or a
mhm.
top 250 player. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah. That's the thing. It's like we didn't we didn't sign up to play ranked in pubs. You know what I
Right.
mean? Like, uh, I think where we always cap off at the end of the year in ranked, not being delusional, maybe it's my ego. I think we're iridescent players if we had the time to put in. And that's not even me capping. Like, I know for a fact I can get to Crim 2 and Crim 3 if you give me like way more time to play. If I can play all day, I know I can hit it.
Oh,
And
well,
that
yeah.
nothing that will never cross my mind. I'm gonna say I'm not a diamond player. That's like disrespectful. I'm not a diamond player.
It's always hard to say just because, again, that's like every year. I mean, that's where we always
Yeah,
end
yeah,
up.
yeah.
But
Yeah.
again, like to your point, though, and people listening, it's kind of hard to say where it's like, what's your potential on Call of Duty? It's
Mhm.
like, well, we work jobs, man. Like, I can't play the game 5, 6 hours a day,
Mhm.
you know?
Yeah, yeah.
But yeah, to your point, if this was our job doing this and we had to play all the time or stream 5, 6 hours a day, something like that. Oh, yeah.
We're
No,
hitting
no
Erie.
doubt.
250
Yeah.
is a stretch, but we're hitting iridescent like
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
And that's not even
But we're not over here saying we're gonna be competing in amateurs,
yeah.
like, no.
Yeah, exactly.
That's out of our realm, but to your point, yeah, if we hit iridescent, yeah, it just comes down to time.
Oh yeah, a lot of it's time. I mean, that's with anything. Like the more you play the game, the better you're gonna get at it. Like
Right, well, of
if you're
course.
intentionally trying to get better, if you're loading in, 3 days a week, and like you're just going to pubs, and you're not like trying to think how to get better, you're not gonna get better. You're just casually playing. But that's why there's pubs, and that's why there's ranked play. You go into ranked, and like we're serious. We're like trying to get better, and there are different strats on like how to get better, things like that. But tying back to like the skill base, I think it's great what Treyarch's doing. I think this will make players better, um, if they want to get better, and it if casuals just want to hop on and just play, they're gonna get the games where they can fry too. But you're also gonna get games where you get cooked. You're gonna
Right.
run into a six stack. It's gonna happen. Um, but that shouldn't happen every single game, you know? And then people will make the argument that, oh, well, players like you and I, or anyone into competitive, you guys just want to farm. Yes, that is true. I do want to farm, but I don't need to farm every game. There are games where like I just want to shut off my brain and rank up a weapon
Mhm.
because I think Hitch said it in like a podcast, but like if I'm trying to get a camo for the Peacekeeper, for example, and the best gun in the game is the M15, we've said it before. I'm not going to use the Peacekeeper because I'm going to get outgunned every time. Why would I
Mhm.
use a weapon that I'm just going to get outgunned and I know I'm going to lose? Like
Right.
there's no point. It's like in like Vanguard with the automaton versus like the other AR. There's no point. Like you know you're going to get gunned with the automaton. Well,
Right.
what's the point of using the other one? And then you just get frustrated because you're trying to, grind for a camo, but you're getting put through the grueler because
Right.
everyone else is using, the meta weapons.
Yeah, can you imagine if you're doing, like, secondaries,
Yeah.
or you're trying to do it with shotguns? I mean, yeah, you're gonna get fried all the time. Um, yeah, and having the balance like we've always had, I mean, you could do that. You're gonna have some of those games where you load it and you're like, "Okay, I gotta actually try here." And it'll be, like, a little bit of a switch up. But then, like, the other games, yeah, you may be able to get away with using a gun that's not the meta or, like, if you're gonna be using, like, a shotgun or some sort of pistol or whatever. Um, yeah, I've seen that too where, you wanna be farming all the time. That's what a lot of the people in pubs wanna do.
Mhm.
Um, I can't speak for myself on that. That would get like it sounds crazy to say, but farming people all the time in pubs would get boring after a while. If you were just always slapping people,
Mhm.
you know, you want those games that where there's that one guy on the other team who's at your level,
Yeah, yeah.
and then you're like, okay, like let's see who's better here. Like, let me put this fucker down.
Mhm.
And then you beat him and you get like more kills than him, like you have a higher KD. But even you may have gotten like 44 and 19 or something, you still feel like a boss.
Yeah, yeah.
You need those games like the mix to be able to challenge you. And then, yeah, a couple of those games where you're playing people with no hands. Yeah,
Yeah,
those
yeah.
are always fun.
And that's where, if you get bored of pub stomping, which I think anybody that gets really competitive and tries to get better at whatever they're doing does hit that. That's where ranked comes into play, where we want those close 250 to 240 hardpoint matches because we went all out and we ended up winning. You know, it gets, it's like too easy when you're in pubs and you're just pub stomping the entire time. Like nothing's challenging you. Um,
Right.
Where, yes, I'm sure there are some players that are only pub stompers. That's all they want. And that's their ultimate achievement, pub stomping. And they don't want to, get into the competitive side, which I feel like that this is crazy analogy, but trying to being a pub stomper in COD that doesn't translate well into real life. Like people that want to be challenged in real life are the ones that go into ranked in COD. Like they're never satisfied. They want more. They want like the close, challenging matchup. Um, where pub stompers, they just want the easy route, which is fine
Right.
if you want that. But you know, we want the challenge.
Passive aggressive. You want to be a bitch? You go right ahead.
Yeah,
Like,
when I got stopped back in the day, I wanted to get better. That like fueled me. I'm like, I want to be that guy that's doing that.
yeah, and you also get this. I mean, you just become a better player. If
Mhm.
you play in ranked, like we're supremely better players because we've gone through that. Year after year in rank play, playing against people who are actually testing us, compared to just staying in pubs all the time. You know, um, but again, to people's point, yeah, if you were depending on how strong the skill base was, like at the beginning of the beta here with Black Ops 7, I mean, damn, it was almost like you were in ranked.
Yeah.
Sometimes it was so bad. But now, like with that being removed, yeah, now you've got like a clear divide between both of those. Where there will be some of those matches that you're challenged, and yeah, you'll be playing some like squads of six, but it's much different than playing ranked.
Mhm.
And actually having to play the objective and be smart with your kills and playing your life and everything like that. That makes you a much better COD player.
Mhm.
Um, So I'm glad that they've made that divide, but I do hear you on the certain people. I would probably be inclined to agree with that. I feel like
Like
if you
it's
just stay in, yeah, you stay in pubs and you like those are the people when they lose a game, they get so like they start blaming. You know what I mean?
mhm.
They get pissed about it, and then they just say that it was all these other reasons besides them as to why they lost, and they
Yeah, yeah.
just never
It's
they never learn from it. You know?
it's crazy to think comparing COD to real life, but it's just a mentality aspect. The people that lose and they don't they're like, I have to get better. It's not, yeah, maybe it's this, maybe it's that, but they're just like, I just need to be a better player. That
Right.
translate into real life where, all right, I don't know, like I messed something up. I need to be better. There's no if and or buts. Like the only next step is to become better. And
Right.
you know, some people become satisfied with pub stomping, and then when they want to get into like the big leagues of ranked, where again, it's not even the big leagues because you're ranked with whatever your skill is. But if you want to challenge yourself to get to the next, ranking, it's like in real life too. You can stop at a certain point if you want, but there
Hmm.
are people that always want to be challenged and they want more. Um, it's just a thing. I'm trying to
Damn.
get to Erie in real life, man. I don't want to.
You were trying to get top 250 in
Yeah,
real life.
I'm not trying to be bronze my entire life.
Yeah.
uh,
No, it's a fair point though, for sure.
People are gonna be like,
Um,
"Who the fuck is this guy?" Comparing Call of Duty to real life.
now, but it's true though, man. I mean, that's the guy who's blaming everybody else for the loss, but he's double negative. It's like, bro, it's you.
Take some accountability, and then you
Yeah,
go into real
exactly.
life. It's never
Yeah.
me that's wrong.
Yeah,
It's always
exactly. It's like,
someone
dude, my
else.
team. It's like, bro, I had all this other work to do. It's like, man, look at the stats, bro.
Yeah, look at that.
You
Yeah,
had you
dude.
had all day to do something,
Yeah,
and you
exactly,
do it at 4:55.
dude.
What are you talking about?
Yeah, and I'm just glad that they're doing this again, and I do think that the stats are going to show that this is a way forward, and
Right.
it's up to the other developers to just listen, because
Yeah.
Treyarch they don't miss, and they're willing to make these changes and show the other devs that this is what you have to do. Uh,
Yeah, absolutely. And again, it's going to benefit everybody depending on like wherever you are, like skill wise. You're going to have those matchups like the way it's always been. So it's good for everybody. I would say too with the aim assist slider that they're going to be having or the adjustment. I'm not going to touch that. I don't feel that this game is really. I don't know. It doesn't feel like it has really strong aim assist. It feels pretty weak,
mhm.
in my opinion. What I've compared to last year's, but I just feel over the years my shot has gotten better, so I don't need it as much as I used to. Um, like, but then I saw this clip of Hydra when he was like he jumped out of a window. I forget what's that. What was the name of that map? The one with like the spinning platforms in the middle of it.
Forge,
Yeah,
yeah,
he jumped out the window of Forge, diving out, and he shot a guy across the other like window there.
yeah, yeah.
But that's mental. I'm like,
Well,
yeah, bro, that's why you're a pro. Like that guy,
yeah,
he can make that shot, but and he doesn't need like any aim or very little aim assist to be doing that. He's just that good. My
yeah,
thing is if there's gonna be people who are beginner players and they're gonna have like aim assist if you can jack it all the way up, I'm like, bro, you're kind of like you're hurting yourself. Why are you really
mhm,
doing this? You should just learn, like we said earlier, learn how to aim.
yeah. Well, that's the thing. I wonder what if it's gonna like what it's gonna be if it's a slider or not. Because in like CODs now, right? You have like dynamic, linear, like you have different options that sort of tweaks the
Right,
aim
right.
assist. Whereas if this is an actual slider where like who's gonna bump their aim assist down? No one's gonna do that. Like,
Can you imagine aim assist high,
dude,
extreme?
everyone's just gonna bump it up. Like you're gonna have an advantage if you just bump up your aim assist. Now, yeah, imagine for the regular player, it's hard to aim. Let me bump it up. Why would I bump it up as like a really good player? Now, like my bullets are gonna track like even better because
Yeah,
my thumbs are steadier than that person.
yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. In this game, yeah, clearly the aim assist it's less compared to other games, but I don't think it's like that substantial. Yeah, there are times where like I see their head and I whiff a tiny bit, but it's not crazy. Like you can argue that previous COD, it's so easy to aim. Like MW3,
Oh,
MW2,
it's a
for
joke.
example. Well, because of headshot multiplier, but also it would aim for you. Like
Yeah.
we have decent shots, you know, for
Mhm.
better than average, but we're no professional player. Like there are shots that those guys hit, they're like very like on Ford, for example, from window to window, right? You and I will come up with our gunfight to that window. We're probably gonna have to center like maybe a couple milliseconds to line up where that person is if they're like crouched. A
Right.
CDL pro is gonna pull up their weapon and center immediately. They're gonna be right on that person. And that's just nerdy stuff that casual players won't think about. But that's why they're pros and we're not. The fact like
Right.
when we center, we're slightly to the left or slightly to the right of them. When pro center, they're right on the person and they don't miss their shots.
Dude, that clip of him was insane. Like
Mhm.
I mean, it must have been just like, first or second day that he went and pulled stuff off like that. But again, they don't need that strong of aim assist to be doing that. It doesn't matter to them. They're just so good at centering in general and just having a shot. But I don't know what it's going to look like. If it is some sort of slider like that, that'll be really, really strange. Maybe they just give you more options like we're saying. If they give you like like dynamic aim assist or whatever that they have for different options. But yeah, if you can just go in and adjust that, I don't see why anybody would want to have
The
like on
default.
the negative of
Yeah.
like, yeah, like it doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
But we'll have to wait and see on that.
Yeah. No one's gonna keep it like everyone's gonna jack it up. If it's a natural
Right.
slider.
Yeah.
I
Auto aim enabled. I'm
dude,
like,
yeah.
yeah, sure. I'm
I'm
in.
yeah. I'm gonna put it all the way up if it's a slider.
Yeah, bro.
Uh
I just have to walk around and hit R2 and my guy just immediately snaps.
yeah,
It's like
yeah.
it's like it's the fucking campaign.
Yeah. So I don't know. I'm sure I wonder how they're gonna do that, but even the fact that they're even talking about aim assist because people are complaining about it. And I was watching Scump stream and Zuma, and like they're talking about that, and both of them were like, "Chat, not gonna lie, that just sounds like a skill issue." I'm like, "Yeah, exactly. Thank you. It is just a skill issue. Yes, like aim assist is less than the previous titles, but did you guys not play like back in the day? Like you've went back and played the old games. Like our shots back in the day were like crisp. The fact that we didn't have that much aim assist and we centered that quick on all
Yeah.
these like CODs.
Yeah. Now it is wild. I was able to on Black Ops 1. Um I was able to kind of get grips with it pretty quickly, but playing like MW3, yeah, it takes a minute cuz you're just not used to it,
Hmm.
from what we've got now, but I know for sure back in the day, oh dude, our shot was insane on those
Yeah.
games.
Yeah, I was
Like we were not whiffing.
no, yeah, dude. I was playing on like 10-10 or 11-11, and I'm
Yeah.
hitting shots like that compared to now where like I'm bumped down to I'm on like 5-5, like
Yeah.
half of that. And but I
So
think I'm a smarter and better player now. But imagine if like I had my shot back then like twisted.
bro, when
Yeah.
I went on, MW3, my sense was on I think it was on 6,
Mhm.
because it only went up to 10, but that was insane. Dude, 6 was so fast. I was like, "Holy
Yeah.
shit." I was like
Yeah.
I was like, "Bro, I'm like, I have aged quite a bit. Let me
Yeah, we're
put
like,
that down
"Oh,
to
wait,
a
hold on."
3." Yeah, no, legit. I'm turning a corner, I'm just
Yeah.
like, I do a 180, it's so bad. Um, but it is a skill issue, you get used to, whatever it is that is the trend for years, like I said with the skill based earlier, that was just how we dealt with pubs, so you just kind of get used to it with the aim assist and all these games. Yeah, it is a skill issue, you just adapt to it.
Mhm.
um and back with those, yeah, it took probably a game or two to really just feel, more confident with it. And also too, like, side note, like the PS3 controller sucks. Like
Yeah,
that
compared to
thing
what
is
we have now,
so
yeah.
that thing is so bad. I'm like, bro, we were out of our minds playing multiplayer COD, like doing the stuff that we were doing with this dog shit microscopic PS3 controller. The analogs suck.
It's
Like,
plastic, we're crunching while moving.
yeah, and now we've got these $200 scuffs, and I'm like, dude, my paddles.
Yeah, yeah,
I'm
yeah,
like, bro, I'm such a bitch.
yeah,
Like back in the day, I'm sitting crisscross staring at my like 60-inch TV doing that stuff.
yeah, I'm quick scoping, like, at that sense and
Oh
doing
yeah.
all that, it doesn't make any sense. Uh,
No, it was
but
it
yeah,
was crazy.
I think if you're complaining about the aim assist, lower your sensitivity. That like
Yeah.
solves the issue. Now
Yeah.
you'll be able to aim easier. Sounds like a
And then
skill
if
issue
you
to me.
Yeah, and if you wanna build it up over time, just bump up your sense slowly, you
Yeah.
know? Like, again, we see that with Cell. What doesn't he play? He plays on, like a 7 sensitivity or something like that, or even higher. Like,
Yeah,
he
whatever
plays
the
so
equivalent to
fast.
like 1010 is to now.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, he's playing on 1010, which is insane as a pro. That just means that he snaps, and when he centers, it's that quick, like on
Yeah,
that
it's
person.
insane.
Um, again, skill issue. I think Scump and Zoom are talking about it. I'm like, yeah, like this COD is going to be a good COD. Um, I'm glad that Treyarch is listening to feedback and even looking at this aim assist thing, but we'll see what they're gonna like
Yeah, I
change
mean,
about it.
it's not gonna matter at all, once we really got the game when we're playing. We're already feeling good on it.
Mhm.
I don't think it's gonna have that big of an impact, and even with, like, to the pro level,
Yeah, it
you know,
doesn't even
our
matter.
it doesn't matter at all, it is gonna be a really, really good year to be watching, Pro COD. Like, I'm just excited for pubs as I am for the CDL to be starting up because just seeing how this game is and watching people's POVs already, there's gonna be crazy stuff that's going on.
Oh yeah,
Um,
and I saw Simp. He even tweeted out like, "This is going to be a great year of COD." I'm like, "You're
yeah,
saying that? This is going to be great." And like a bunch of
yeah.
other pros are saying that too. Uh, so I'm
No,
excited
it,
for it.
it's going to be a good year. And like we've talked about too with most of the teams at the top, like it's going to be a fun battle there. We did get some announcements. Like thing we'll close on is some of the middle pack teams. I think that the only team that we haven't got anything from yet is the Royal Ravens. Regarding like what that team is, we've talked in previous episodes about some of them that haven't been announced yet, like that. The was it the Gorillas?
Mhm.
Was it like Gentle Make Gorillas or something like that? Rocker, we've gotten some news about. And then there was there was two rosters that have come out now, which are I think they just kind of slapped these together because within 24 hours, one of these teams had totally they changed, which was the Cloud9 roster, which we also talked about. This team is not making any money. These guys are getting paid scraps
Yeah.
to stay on this team. They were rumored as one of the teams that has the lowest budget going into this year. Um, but I thought they did okay with the roster that's rumored right now, which more than likely this is what it's going to be. I don't know when it's going to be announced though. With Afro, Beans, Mac, and our boy Reese Vivid.
Mhm.
Justin, this guy was not rumored to be on this team like 2 days ago from recording, and then he made it on here. He's in the rumors. Vivid always a classic. We are huge Vivid fans. This man always gets his way in. They're gonna drop him at some point. I don't know when. They're gonna drop Reese Vivid. He's gonna be off the team, and they're gonna get worse and worse. They're gonna regress heavily. But for a team that's thrown together, kind of, let's say last minute, but with the money that they have, it's not super enticing. I don't think that's too bad of a team.
Yeah, no, it's a solid team, I think, and I think they're the one of the teams that you know could surprise a lot of fans and be like that Seattle Surge that comes up if all their teamwork just meshes really well. Um, I'm just glad to see Vivid back in the league because that guy's just always in and out, and he deserves a spot. I know his play style is it's either like all or nothing. That's the hard part, right? It's like he's either frying and making plays because of how he plays, or he's get like just dying over and over and like costing because of how he plays. So,
Right.
but that again, that's when your team has to enable you to be that player.
Yeah, and I don't know if they're going to be able to. I know Afro is a super fast player. Um, and it's going to be just kind of down to the subs to be able to open it up for him to be doing what he does. Um, I think that like on paper that doesn't seem like too bad of a team, but this is all considering the fact that all the top players have been locked up, and they're kind of fighting for scraps here at the bottom for like who they can really put together. And there are some people that are left out that I could only imagine they're gonna be on the, Royal Ravens, but I'm sure because of new players coming in, like the other one for, Surge, they obviously dropped everybody from this team. They got rid of, what was his name? The coach for the team. Why am I telling you? Rambo.
Mhm.
And then they brought in was a guy Ricky Atura, who he was a former pro, if I'm not mistaken,
Yeah.
a
He was a
while ago.
coach. He's
Yeah,
been a
so
coach for a while.
right. So they're bringing him in, and then the big news with this, other than having Gwyn, Abe, and Lunars, is having this guy Legend, who was on Optic Halo, and he is the first guy that's making that transition because Halo's completely in destruction,
Mhm.
along with everything else that Microsoft has touched, and he's trying to make his move into Call of Duty. I think it's going to be a big year for like a lot of those players because who knows what the future of Halo is. If this guy comes in and he's doing really well, I think we're going to see a lot more of these Halo guys be interested in trying to get onto a CDL team. But
Yeah.
are they going to get a spot up at the top? Like, unless it's formal, probably not.
It's like, who knows? They're running I wouldn't say orgs are running like a major risk, but it's like, Shotzi came from Halo. We know where he is now. Formal and Enable were like the OGs to do it. Crim did it too.
Mhm.
And like Neptune came from Halo, did really bad the first couple of years, went back to Halo, now back in COD. Now he's like a top prospect again. Um,
Right.
there are a lot of like guys that have came from Halo into COD and are successful. And there's this narrative right now with Legends because he's on Optic Halo right now. Like they're playing in Worlds pretty soon,
Hmm.
and this roster got leaked, and everyone's like they're checked because he's switching to COD. He's on Optic Halo right now, trying to win a world championship, and people are saying like, he's not even trying because he's already ready to switch. And I think those people are just straight idiots that think that. I'm like, why would you be so unlocked going to the biggest event and probably the last event of this game ever? And they just placed third at the last event. They're trying to win. Like the team that they built is a championship team. Like they're trying to win in Halo, and they haven't closed out yet, like in a big one. And if Legends, they won at Halo, they won Halo champs, and he's coming off of that and going to a CDL team, like he's going to be at an all-time high.
Oh
And
yeah.
it's just crazy to think that people think that, oh, this roster's leaked. He's already left Halo and he's going to COD. That team's just shocked completely. I'm like, no, it's not. This dude hasn't even like the game hasn't even come out yet.
Bro, those are people who aren't competitors.
Yeah, they
Like
don't get it.
they don't get it, you know. And to your point, yeah, he's on like that Optic team is an insane team already. It's not like there's some bottom team that has no chance
Mm-hmm.
of trying to win win any events. Like dude, he's also representing Optic on top of that, There's so many factors going into it that would totally go against the notion that he doesn't give a damn because he's going to be playing for these guys.
Mm-hmm.
Like look, he's going into Call of Duty with a completely blank slate because but obviously Halo and COD are way different. And he's playing with a completely new team that, again, just coming off of last year, they got completely dropped and had to rebuild. So the bar is pretty low right now with what this Surge team is going to be doing. On paper, those players are like, they're pretty good. But we have no idea what they're going to end up being like as a team and also individually. I mean, he could be mid as fuck.
Mm-hmm.
And it could be just 1 year that we see him in or he gets subbed out. I mean, who knows? I would only imagine he's going to be, good.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, no chance that guy is going to like just kind of drop the ball at Halo,
Mm-hmm.
Like what's the name of the tournament again? I'm blacking out. Is it the Worlds that they're
Yeah,
playing for?
Worlds. Yeah,
Yeah.
Halo
Like, come
champs.
on.
Yeah, they're
Yeah, like the amount of money and prestige in that, and again, probably going to be a historic event because it'll be the last one. Um, yeah, you want to end that career on a bang if you're going to be totally stopping Halo.
yeah, and like you said, the game is not even out yet. He's not worried about like his teammates in COD like right now. They haven't scrimmed, they haven't done anything. He's concentrated on champs worlds.
Right.
Like they want to win that. And whatever happens after that, then he's gonna go and switch over to COD. And like you said, he's starting off with a clean slate. Yeah, he gets an advantage because he was a pro player already in another game and like has won multiple championships in another game. doesn't necessarily mean that it translates to another esport, but you do have an edge because
Yeah,
if you're that good, again, at like another FPS and Halo, yeah, you have jetpacks and stuff. You don't have jetpacks in this, but you have the wall bounce movement, so it's kind of like that. But COD is different than Halo. But then you look at, who's come from Halo and how successful they are. Every org is trying to get, that Halo Pro that is the next Shotzi or like the
right.
formal, like they've done it both ways and they've won. Um, and it just
And you
takes
gotta
some time.
you got to keep in mind too, even with the whole like when Shotzi came over, bro, he was not good off the rip. He was terrible
Yeah.
for Dallas, like when he started. So it would not surprise me if he comes in and he gets cooked, the first couple events. Um, not saying that's gonna happen, but if that did happen, I'm not gonna be coming for the guy's head, because
Mhm.
again, look what happened to Shotzi. He was not that good all throughout the year, or not all throughout the year, I say in the beginning of the year, he was not good.
Mhm.
And then he just woke up and completely turned around and they won COD champs, which was insane.
Yeah.
Uh, so there's definitely going to be some time that he needs to just feel it out and actually play it with that team. And then by the end of the year, that's when you can make your call. But to say that his mind is totally in Call of
Yeah.
Duty right now
It's
is an insane thing. He can't even play the game. It's
Yeah,
like
no, it's nuts because yeah, like there's no reason for him to come into COD and like he might suck completely in the beginning of the year, and that's totally fine because it's a
right.
completely different game. Um, like Shotzi had Crim and Clay to like mentor him and teach him the game. These vets, Legends is coming into like Abe, who's a rookie, Lunars, who played for parts of this year, and then Gwyn is the most seasoned person on that team. That's
And he's been playing for what, 2 years? Like
yeah,
2 or 3 years?
yeah. Like
Like he's not a
that,
veteran
yeah,
veteran.
yeah. That
Yeah.
he's the most seasoned player on that team. Um,
Mhm.
that's definitely different than the situation Shotzi came into. And you can't compare, yes, he's a world champion, a multi-champion in another game, and then coming to this, like completely different situations. And in Optic Halo right now too, the other guy, Renegade, like he's rumored to switch over to COD 2. And he was like rumored to be on like a couple of rosters. He's actually rumored to be on this roster. Like him and Legends were gonna be together. But
Right.
I'm sure their stock, especially if they win champs, like it's gonna be really high. Because that's what happened with Shotzi. And it's like the skill does translate to an extent, but everyone's trying to find the next Shotzi in formal. Which leaves the question: is formal going to call it like after this, or is he going to come back to COD? Um, People are questioning that too, but yeah, people are like that entire optic team is just chalk. What people have been saying online, I'm like, you guys are completely ridiculous if you think no one cares about Worlds.
Yeah. Nah, no chance. Um, but yeah, to the point of other people trying to get into like from Halo get into the CDL. I mean, it's pretty slim right now. I mean, I put on here as well regarding Boston. We have not heard much news regarding that team. I think the only thing that's been leaked is that Awakening would be the odd man out on that team, and it would be Purge, Cammy, and Snoopy. That trio they would stick with, and potentially bringing in Nasty. But I don't really know much of what's going on with that team because it just comes down to them and then Carolina
Mhm.
for spots. And with Boston, more than likely it's going to be just one opening. So we haven't gotten confirmations on all these teams at the bottom, but from what it looks like, a lot of the conversations have kind of settled down a bit.
Mhm.
And I would imagine that the remaining teams that haven't either made an announcement or again with Carolina and Boston, they're going to have it figured out relatively soon.
Mhm.
Um, Unless they're holding out after Worlds, and they're like,
That would be
see if
crazy.
the Optic boys win, and they're like, hey, yo, get the contract ready.
Yeah, because the CL starting early this year, so
Mhm.
basically like early December, which is like 2 weeks from when the game launches. So I'm sure we're gonna hear final rosters pretty soon. Um, and Nasty like weeks ago has already tweeted out like the signed contract like uh meme. And it's like, where is he going? Obviously, the rumor is Boston, and nothing has come out yet. So I'm sure we'll hear in the next couple of weeks. The game's about to be out. By the time the game comes out, I'm sure we're going to hear about the rest.
Yeah. No, absolutely. But it's just going to be a waiting game at this point, and with the launch of the game too, yeah. Closing like on all the news that we've heard so far, regarding the game, like those big announcements with the aim assist, and same thing with the open like matchmaking. It's just getting me more and more hype for this launch, and same thing with the CDL. Like I want to see all these teams announced. That way, when I'm playing the game, we just know what kind of year we're getting.
Yeah.
But there's nothing we can do other than just wait until it comes out, unfortunately.
I know, yeah.
It'll be here before we know it.
Yeah, it's exciting to see that the pros that went and played, they're like, this is going to be a fun,
Yeah.
professional game to play. And it's, it'll be good to see and have like a good year again. And on top of that, the beta maps, a lot of the pros were like, this can be used for this. This can be used for this mode. I'm like, dude, the Black Ops 6 beta, we had nothing.
Yeah.
So
like, and we've got the remastered maps too that they haven't even put out yet, and we know those are solid. So the fact that they're talking about new maps and that they could use them for certain modes is a really, really good sign.
Yeah. Oh, actually, one thing that I just thought about, completely like switching topics of this, is actually going back to Battlefield 6 for a bit. I saw a clip of the the Battlefield 6 campaign. I've heard it's dog shit, like really bad. And I was watching a clip on X for it, and it was, the saddest scene in Battlefield 6, and they're in like a helicopter, like fighting off enemies, and soldiers were just dying left and right, and then it's just you, like all your soldiers around you died, and I'm like, wait a minute, this is the exact scene in, I want to say, MW3, where you're like, you remember that scene where you're in the helicopter, like your helicopter crashed, and you have like a pistol, and you're like shooting all around you, and you're like in the desert. It's that exact scene, like no bullshit.
Copy paste,
dude. And people in the comments were like, so you just completely ripped off like a COD campaign. Yeah. And everybody has said this campaign sucks. Like there's nothing interesting about it. Multiplayer, people are having fun.
That multiplayer better be freaking amazing.
Yeah. But again, EA. Like,
this is what they do.
Yeah. Like, you gotta think, we'll see this whole COD versus Battlefield thing.
Maybe they put all of their eggs into the multiplayer basket, and they're going to just, like I said, they're going to support that for quite a long time and hopefully listen to everybody. Because yeah, if they were going to be doing it with the campaign and talking about how they satisfied every sect of the game, yeah, the campaign, I heard that too. It was
bad,
fucking horrible. Yeah, it was terrible.
Yeah, people said it was bad, and it was like 5 hours. That's it.
Yeah. I mean, bro, it's MW3 all over again.
That's what I'm saying. They just they're like, what's a good campaign?
But not the good MW3.
Let's copy this one. The worst campaign to ever be created.
Yeah, but fuck it, I ain't playing that game.
Yeah, no, I'm not.
If I get it on a sale, I'll be playing it. But
yeah,
I'm curious too with people listening. Which again, if you made it this far, thank you so much for listening to this episode. We appreciate it. But do let us know in the comments on YouTube if you are going to be playing both Call of Duty, Black Ops 7, and Battlefield 6, because I know for a fact you and I will only be playing COD. I mean, we are the COD casuals, but even with the casuals part, I'm not playing Battlefield. I'll be playing some single player games instead.
We're just COD people at the end of the day. There's no reason to go both sides. It's like, I'm not
going to hate on the Battlefield people, but again, it's not my game. It's not my cup of tea.
I'm better at COD than I am at Battlefield, and I admit that completely. And I like to be good at a game that I enjoy.
Yeah. I want to be good at one game or one FPS. I don't want to try to dominate all of them. Playing one is hard enough.
Yeah. Like I would play the game if it was free.
Yes.
Like, I don't got to invest.
That's what it comes down to. I'll play if you make the game free, then I'll play it. But if you need me to pay $70, again, in this economy, I'm sorry. I have to be choosy with my games.
I'll give it a shot if it's free. Like the Battle Royale, whenever that comes out, and if it's free, I'll download it and try it.
Right.
But I'll probably, you and I will probably play it for maybe a week. And that's stretching it
I
because we
was
don't
gonna
like
say,
battle
Justin,
royale
that's pretty
games.
generous, bro. I'm like, I thought you were gonna say an hour at first. I'm like, yeah, that's right.
Nah, we'll probably play it like a night and be like, this is not it.
And then go play Black Ops 7.
We're just multiplayer guys, you
Yeah,
know?
that's it. But yeah, man, I think that does it, huh? Unless you had anything else we want to talk about.
No, I think that covers it.
But again, let us know what you think about the whole Battlefield release. If you did have to suffer through that campaign, we do apologize.
Yeah.
You know,
Come to
that sounds like
COD.
straight ass.
Yeah.
Just stick to Call of Duty, bro.
Yeah.
But yeah, again, everybody listening, thank you so much for listening to this episode, which is number 244 of the COD Casuals podcast. Be sure to go to anchor.fm/COD Casuals since we're there on all stream platforms. And if you want to keep up to date with us, go on to Twitter or X at COD Casuals since we're posting there pretty much daily. And then also go into the Instagram, TikToks when you cut up the episode and we just make shorts. So be sure to give us a follow over there. And on all platforms, Spotify, whole thing, 5 stars.
5 stars only.
We appreciate the support. It helps us more than you know.
Yeah.
And of course, go to the YouTube, comment, and subscribe.
We're going
And
to
I
the
think
next
that does it.
season. Next season
Yes.
of Black Ops 7, man.
Yeah, I don't even know what season we're on of the COD Casuals, but we are going, bro.
I think we're on season 5.
So show the support, show the
Yeah.
love. Like we're saying, we appreciate it. We need to start off season 5, Black Ops 7. We need to start it off with a W.
Yep.
And I think that does it, man.
Yeah, it does.
So again, everybody, thank you for listening to this episode, number 244 of the COD Casuals podcast. We're your host, Mike.
I'm Justin.
And we'll see you guys next week. Take it easy, everybody.
See ya.